kid, I was fascinated by music. That was always my thing. And it was actually through my love of music that I ended up where I am today, which sounds kind of a bit weird, but the transition was really, through my love of music, I discovered the importance of numbers in music, and actually the importance of numbers in art and in nature. I became fascinated with this concept. And so eventually ended up studying mathematics at university. And 20% of that degree, or there was courses in that degree that were coding, that were compulsory. And same again with my postgrad. I then did a postgrad in economics and econometrics, and some of that degree was coding. And for me, what I realized with coding was that it wasn't the idea of coding that excited me, and I was never top of the class, But once I realized actually I could create things with this, then it became something I was interested in, because I've always been a creative. So I say I'm a creative who kind of learnt to be analytical. So it was through my love of creativity that I forced myself to learn how to build things. And it is like, code is like adding an extra color to your palette, adding an extra tool to your tool belt. So yeah, it was through university that I kind of gained this insight into technology. It was kind of a natural progression then through university that I ended up in the tech world. I was one of very few women on my degree. I recognize now in hindsight that I used to try and behave like one of the boys, to try and fit in. And I've had this, as I've matured, I've had this realization that actually I'm better off just being me, and being whoever I am, even if that feels slightly out of place at times. And now, thankfully, I'm in an environment where that's welcomed, and that's actually the value add that I bring is what I bring as a woman, what I bring to the table. When I was working as a technology consultant, after university, and I'd wear a suit to work. I definitely had to mentally prepare myself, put my armor on and go in the boardroom and apply myself and it wasn't at all that it was what was required of me or requested of me. It was my own response. I guess in some ways I did feel a little bit trapped, or a little bit like I was, a square peg being forced into a round hole. Just knowing that it's okay to be whoever I am, and if that means, sometimes being, really girly and really feminine, even if I'm in a tech environment with all the engineers, then actually that's fine. And I think in some ways they find it quite endearing. They like it when I'm just kind of natural and just kind of me. For me, I'm of the belief that everybody has both masculine and feminine energy, and the way that I see it is we flex more into our masculine when we have to be decisive or organized or negotiate or lead or anything like that. And our feminine qualities are more kind of emotive and feeling, and I believe that everybody has both of these. I've always enjoyed surrounding myself with powerful women as well, and pulling each other up, even peers. I have this amazing group of girlfriends. We're based all over the world, and actually the majority of us now are running startups and kind of doing our own thing, and those who aren't are killing it in other ways, And we barely ever see each other, to be honest. We're always traveling, but we have a WhatsApp chat, and every day we're sending pictures of what's going on. And the way that we always talk about it is, we talk about kind of climbing the ladder, or climbing like a skyscraper, and as soon as one person gets one step up, she pulls all the other up, and then the next time it'll be somebody else getting a step up, she pulls all the other up. So this idea of if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. I remember when my mom came in, we used to hot desk in her office when we were just me and my two co-founders, and she came in one day and I had this big sketchbook. And I was sketching something, like a design or something. When I was the designer in the early days, now we have designers that are far better than me. And I was sketching something, and I had all these electronics laid out next to me, and I was bopping my head to my music, and I look up, my mom's standing there, and she's laughing, and I take my headphones off, and I'm like, what are you laughing at? And she says, this whole scene is exactly how it was when you were 15. You've just recreated this, 10 years later. You've just built a business around all these components of your life.